Hi, everyone. I am so thrilled to be here this morning to chat with Rowen from the SEAMS Tarot. SEAMS stands for the Southeast Asian Myths and Stories Tarot, and it is phenomenal. It incorporates the artwork from 11 different countries in Southeast Asia and includes a stunning variety of different art forms and artists, and it's really quite a special deck. So I'm just waiting for Rowan to pop on here and then we can start our chat. If you haven't seen the deck yet, it's absolutely stunning. Even the box is lovely. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. There we go. And we should be good to go in just a moment. Hi, Rowan.
Hi, let me get the stand, set it up.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
Hi, thanks for joining. I thought it's 9 a.m. your time now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we are about 11 hours difference.
Oh, okay.
So,
My
yeah.
apologies. I thought it was 12 hours. My bad.
Okay, no problem. Uh, you can, no issue. It's perfectly okay because
Fabulous. Well,
so
thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to talk to you about this deck. It is absolutely stunning. I've spent the last couple of weeks reading through all of the myths and legends in the guidebook and absorbing all of the beautiful artwork. And I wanted to start by asking you how the deck came about, because I know it's a collaborative project that incorporates artists from 11 different countries, if I understand right. So that must have been quite the process getting everyone together. I'd love to hear more about that.
okay. Firstly, yes, the deck was the deck. This is the deck. It's
Yeah.
done by I think you know about this artist by name of Leonard
Right.
Jim Narcisco. Yeah,
Yes.
he did his work. He did a lot of works, and one of the more famous one is the Vanessa Tarot, the one with the tin box,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
girl power deck. Yeah, so what came up was Linard wanted to do something for the community for Southeast Asia because
Mhm.
he has been seeing a lot of collaborative decks all around the world, and he thought that he wanted to organize people to come together and do a tarot deck. So
Yeah.
I connected with him. So I thought he was like some guy who just joined my tarot group because I have a tarot group in Singapore, which is known as the
Yeah.
Tarot and Cartomancy Association of Singapore. So he joined. So I asked him who is he, and then because there's a lot of fake people all
Yeah.
around yeah. So he showed me his work, which is the
Yeah.
deck, and then he showed me what he did. So I trusted that this guy is a sort of genuine guy. Then
Yeah.
I also asked around because there were a few Singaporean artists who were
Mhm.
also into athletic, when athletic tarot was still around. So
Okay.
I checked with a few of those senior artists, and they said,
Mhm.
"Oh, this guy is really genuine." So he's also a very nice guy. So we decided to start with the project. Then I started to rope in people whom I know from Thailand and
Mhm.
Indonesia, as well
Mhm.
as we managed to reach out to the curator for Vietnam,
Oh,
the
wow.
curator of the tarot and the Museum of Tarot and Oracle in Vietnam. Oh,
Oh my gosh,
it's
I didn't even know that existed. That's so amazing.
oh yeah. I haven't visited there yet. So,
Yeah.
but it's a three-story building. So it
Oh my goodness.
consists, yeah, it's a three-story building consisting of one floor which is dedicated all to playing cards, one
Mhm.
floor dedicated all to tarot, and one floor they're dedicated to all oracle cards.
Oh
So
my
there are a lot of actual artifacts, as in real, like maybe I won't say very super old decks, but maybe 19th century or 18th century type of decks and
yeah.
texts. So the curator of the museum is by the name of Phil.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so he was also very interested to do something like this, because one thing we chose the theme which was known as Southeast Asian myths and stories. Why
Yeah.
we choose myths and stories is because we have a lot of our cultural knowledge. As you know, a lot of knowledge comes from stories, and a lot
Yes.
of knowledge which we hand down to our children comes from like fairy tales and from stuff like
Yeah.
that. So through the project, we decided to showcase our stories into that of tarot deck, because we wanted to show the world
Yeah.
that tarot deck is more than just for fortune telling. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
more for what do you call to get more as I would say different aspects of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about you, but I go to tarot to unpack and discover more about my own experience. And when you juxtapose that against legends and mythology and stories, it gives you such a rich tapestry to engage with the archetypes of tarot. It's a beautiful juxtaposition. That's really,
So
really lovely.
on the theme of stories again,
Mhm.
like there's the Tarot of the Divine, which was launched I think before the SEAMS Tarot.
Okay.
It was also on some of the tales in the Tarot of the Divine is also part of the SEAMS Tarot as well. Like
Oh,
there's one
amazing.
of the heroes in the Tarot of the Divine. His name is Hang Tuan.
Okay.
Is is a Malay legendary hero. So he's
Mhm.
prominently featured in Tarot of the Divine. I think one of the cards known as Knight of Wands or something like that.
Okay.
So, but for the Sims Tarot, he's featured in a few cards. One of the cards which is prominent is the Five of Swords.
Oh, nice.
So the Five of Swords is the story about uh, Hang Tuan, which is the legendary warrior who was asked to fight with his best friend. Yes, yes, his
Yeah,
best friend, which is
gorgeous.
this Hang Jabet,
Yeah.
through the manipulation of the Sultan. Basically, the background story was the Sultan blamed Hang Tuan for sleeping around with one of his concubines, which
Oh no.
apparently, yeah, which apparently wasn't true. So Hang Tuan need to run away, but his
Yeah.
friend, who was the Hang Jabet, said, "Hey, you are a lousy sultan. How can you believe in these rumors and ask my good friend to run away and sentenced to death?" So he fought a lot of the warriors, because he himself is a very good warrior, and only
Mhm.
Hang Tuan could best him. So apparently, after he killed almost everybody or almost every single warrior in the palace, uh, the Sultan asked Hang Tuan to come back and pardon him to defeat his friend. But in the end, Hang Tuan, on the orders of the king, had to kill the friend, which is, I think, very sad. And that's
Yeah, that's
the sense
heartbreaking.
of defeat. But
Yeah.
basically, it's like Lancelot fighting with King Arthur or something like that. So
Yeah, no
it's quite
kidding.
sad. But he
Yeah.
redeemed himself later on, which is this card, the Eight of
Yeah.
Cups. If you
Oh my
look at the
gosh.
story, is basically the king was still not very happy with Hang Jabet's whole family, so he wanted to kill everybody. But Hang Tuan managed to save his son, his best friend's son, and what do you call uh, gave him a second chance at life and became his teacher. Yes, so in this card, it's portraying that Hang Tuan now is old and sagely teacher who redeemed himself by sending off his best friend's son to lead the because the background of the story was the Malaccan Sultanate. It's 14th century. So during that period of time, there was the Portuguese which came. So he was sending him off to fight with the Portuguese to try and redeem the empire from the I would say Westerners or colonization. So that's the story. So in a sense that these two stories I link together with some form of connection. Like this is the sad part whereby the two friends were fighting, but he redeemed himself through this action. So yeah, this is just two of the I think stories which were actually part of my design when I did this. So basically we have this type of stories which were like on legendary characters, and then but for certain countries we were not able to get artists, so I need to actually design or work with some of the artists from other countries to do the story, such as for Cambodia. And I did a lot of research. One of the story is actually, let me show you. Yeah. So basically, this is my portfolio.
Oh wow!
Okay, so it consists of cards which I printed out in big format.
Oh wow! That's amazing. Then you can see all the details when it's in a larger format. I mean, even traditional tarot size, you can still see everything. Oh my gosh!
This card, okay, can you see?
Wow! Oh, that's gorgeous.
The page of swords and the page of pentacles. If you take both the page of swords and page of pentacles, it can combine to form a bigger picture.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, because I knew when I read through the stories, I could see that they were connected, but I didn't put it together that they were actually two sides of the same card. That is so cool. Yeah, because I saw the connection.
Okay, a lot of people say, why is there a disembodied head in the center of the...
Because it's two parts of the same illustration. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me give you the background. Why there's a disembodied head in the center of the in the center of the story. So basically, the disembodied head is actually not disembodied head. It's just the symbolization of their mother, who was like wronged. Basically, the whole basis of this story was these two boys were wronged by a stepmother and were sentenced to death by the king because the stepmother did something which is very bad. Means framed them, saying that they were like boys trying to molest her. So the king was not very happy. So the king sentenced them to death lah. So the mother gave them each a ring. That's why you can see that both of them have one ring on each finger. So with the ring, they came back to rescue the mother from the bad king, and both of them became like kings of the empire. So basically, this is the book which I researched.
Oh, cool.
So this is actually the story is we can see that some of the art is this is the old temple painting arts. So I had to condense the entire story to 2 cards.
Yeah. Which is hard to do because it sounds like there's lots of elements to it.
Yeah, but the gist of the story for the entire thing is condensed into the book. Oh yeah, have you ever tried to print the ebook so it'll look like that?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I haven't printed it yet, but I have plans to because it's an amazing resource and it's nice to be able to flip through and find stuff. Yeah,
so that's the ebook, which I think one of the reasons why I decided to put it in as an ebook because there was the option which I offered people to have the booklet, but it doesn't really give the stories very much detail. and I wanted to put in a section on this what I did for cosplay. Which,
Oh, I love that section. That was amazing. Yeah, because the makeup was incredible. It took a couple of hours to do it, right? Hour and a half.
yeah, hour and
Yeah,
a half for the makeup. Hold on for a
yeah,
minute.
it was incredible. It reminded me of something from like all of the cat makeup from Cats, like the intricacy of it and the detail. It was because it's a tiger, right? That
Yes, it's a
yeah,
tiger. Yeah, so
yeah.
it was let me see whether I printed it out in the big format.
I have the guidebook here on my tablet, so I'm just trying to see if I can find it.
So
Yeah.
basically, so part of the project had
Oh,
this. This is the actual design of the person.
oh, amazing.
Yeah, the art
Yeah, and then all
and
the detailed
yes, yes,
makeup.
yes.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
because one thing I like is cosplay.
Yeah, it's so much
But,
fun.
but I think tarot also have a lot of cosplay, especially you can see that the cosplay element is very strong for tarot,
Oh,
especially.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
incredible. I love it. Well, and I love how all of the myths and legends that you've been talking about exemplify the meanings of the cards as well, like that Eight of Swords and that sense of, you know, getting past whatever blockages you have and finding redemption. I mean, so much of that has to do with your thought patterns, but it's also an external manifestation of that when he's taking care of his friend's son. And that Five of Swords, it's like that theme of winning, but at what cost? Because he's
yes,
forced to do
yes,
something
yes.
against his will, right? And
So,
juxtaposing that story just deepens your understanding of the association of that card in really beautiful ways. I love
mm,
that so much.
I also put a lot of emphasis about current affairs.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the card which I put was this card. I ten of
Ah, yes, the Ten of
yes.
Wands.
So the ten of wands. Okay, the background to this card is okay. The story for this card is original story. It's not a legend. The
Okay.
legend is the creature. This creature,
Mm-hmm.
which is known as the Otosang.
Okay. Yeah.
Otosang is the spirit of greed.
Oh, okay.
So spirit of greed. So on that spirit of greed type of knowledge, I uh, I came up with the story. Basically, I wrote the story. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it's the story about two boys who went to a cave to see some treasure. They went to the cave with a merchant to look for treasure. But in the cave, there was this the spirit of the Oto-san, who
Yeah.
asked one of the boys to kill both the merchant as well as his brother.
Oh, wow.
So after doing the deed, instead of uh, being able to enjoy the riches, he became the Oto-san. Means he replaced the
Oh,
merchant who was the previous Otosan to become the guardian of the treasure, but also
yeah.
changing into this monster, lah, basically. So it's in a certain sense it's about greed, but
Mm-hmm.
as you can see, it's also about the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is like what overpowering sense or a sense whereby there's something which is compelling you to do an action.
Yeah.
So the compelling action in this sense is the amount of money and the greed which made anybody from a normal human can become this monster. So
Yeah.
the other thing which was happening while we were doing the SEAMS Tarot is you can see that the country is Myanmar.
Yep.
So we wanted to bring more attention to what is going on in Myanmar, which is
Yeah.
the greed of the certain individuals in the
Mm-hmm.
country, saying that, oh, we do not want the will of the people is to be denied. We are greedy, so that's why there's a lot of guns and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
tension and a lot of war. That's why they also you can see that even the spirit of greed made this symbol. This is
Yes.
the Hunger Games symbol saying that, oh,
Yeah.
I can't take this anymore. This is protest against the military. So I put these elements into
Yeah.
part of the deck because I was discussing with the artists on how to develop this into both current affairs as well as part of the card and the spirit of what is happening around us. And also because we do not encourage violence, and we encourage not to be so greedy or wanting too many things.
Yeah.
That's my view of the Ten of Wands. So I
Absolutely.
encapsulate it all into this deck, this card.
Yeah,
So
I love that. I love all of those details, and it really pulls the meaning through, but it's also putting it into a current context for people to understand more about the context of what's going on, which is amazing. That's really, really
Uh,
cool.
yeah, that's I think also the process whereby you're doing a deck. It's a reflection of what is happening in the times,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
in ancient times till now,
Hmm.
a lot of the history which a lot of the rulers don't want people to know is
Yeah,
hidden actually in the writings of people
yeah,
who use things to mask what they are saying. So
yes,
this is also a way of how we are sending a message saying that what is going on in the world as
yeah.
compared to what is hidden inside the cards.
What you're being told versus what's actually going on. Yeah, that's amazing. Oh,
That's
that's
what
amazing.
one of the elements which I put into the deck, which I think is
Yeah,
interesting as well. So
yeah.
the deck itself has a lot of various elements.
Mhm.
Uh, which is your favorite card in the entire deck?
Well, we were talking about this a little while ago, and I've got quite a few. I really like the aces in this deck. I
Ah,
find imagery. I know that you had um, worked on the design for that as well, right?
yeah,
I love the energy of the Phoenix. So this Ace of Wands just really spoke to me, and the legend behind it is so fascinating. And I love the pure potential of the aces as well. And the
mm,
dragon imagery here is so stunning.
yes.
There's just so much pure potential with these. Yeah. And then, oh, I'll
So
grab that one. Yeah.
so the initially, okay, so basically let's talk about this card because
Yeah.
it's also one of my favorite cards and most talked about cards in the entire deck. So basically it's talking about the dragon. So in Asian mythology, dragon has to do with rain as well as water. So that's why it became the ace of
Yeah.
cups. And the reason why we also use this symbology because interestingly enough, the legend of the Hong River, which is where the river of the delta starts from Mekong all the way leading flowing through the entire Vietnam,
Oh,
is
wow.
where the initial culture of the Vietnamese started. Because like ancient culture always start on the river. So
Yeah.
and then the river itself looks like a dragon.
Oh my gosh, that's
Ah,
amazing.
yes, yes. So why we chose a vase instead of a vase instead of a cup is because this vase is like very important in the ancient time because during that time they had to collect water, rainwater, in this type of uh, vase to so that they have drinking water, better drinking water as
Mhm.
compared to the river water. So that's one of the reasons. So and okay, initially I told the artist I want one dragon
Mhm.
to symbolize just the thing. And he said, why not? I have a baby dragon as well. So
Oh,
I
I
said,
love
okay. Then because this Hong River story normally technically is supposed to be one dragon, but I
yeah.
need to modify the story to add the baby dragon as well. So
Yeah.
it's like two of them looking at people trying to get a living, so they meet the river or bring the rains, so that in the end, everybody has like water to drink and stuff like that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And the
Well,
lotus is like new beginning for people and new
yeah.
transformation. That's why I combined everything into that.
Yeah.
And I think for some tarot decks like the Rider White, there's like some flowers growing as well in the imagery for the Ace of
Yeah.
Cups. So that's why I think it's interesting
Oh, it's
card with
beautiful. Yeah.
transformations
Well,
involved.
and cups are all about relationships and connections. So where the original story detailed one dragon, it's kind of nice to have that second, because oftentimes it heralds new relationships and new connections. And there's nothing more new than engaging with an infant, right? Like there's something beautiful about that process. I really love it.
So
Yeah, the artwork
correct,
is
correct.
stunning.
And
It's
the
beautiful.
River of Life is a great transformation as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So yes, and of course, this is the favorite card, and a lot of people like this card because
Yeah,
just correction is it's known as the Vermilion Bird, not the
Vermilion Bird. Yeah, no,
so
it's
so
yeah. I
yeah, no,
apologize.
it's okay. A lot of people still think it's the phoenix, uh, or some people who play Pokemon, Pokemon
Yeah.
the game. Yeah, they say this is Moltres, the
Oh,
the
okay.
the the legendary bird of the fire.
Ah,
So,
yeah,
in a certain sense, it just gives like hope or
yeah,
new transformation. So,
yeah.
the legend behind this is about a monk who went to the forest to build a monastery and a new way of life, apart from that of what we say, a different way of life. Because
Hmm.
monks throughout the ages will grow fat and lazy in the monastery. So he didn't want that. So he brought about the forest monk tradition, whereby the monks don't really like to live inside the temple. They are supposed to go on what they call pilgrimage and live
Okay.
off the land. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
that's what he did. And this guy or this monk, his name is known as Ajahn Chad.
Okay.
He he managed to convince a lot of Europeans
Oh,
to
interesting.
yes to transform into his form of monkhood or Buddhism.
Hmm.
So one of the a few monasteries in England. One monastery is in somewhere in Greenwich.
Okay.
It is by a guy named Ajahn Sumedo. I think he's
Oh,
retired. But I visited the monastery when I was in England, maybe about 20 years back. So
hmm.
the teacher is his student, and he's a UK person, someone
Hmm.
from British person. So
Hmm.
instead of just limiting the bounds, like the Ace of Wands, he managed to break out of just Thailand to spread
Yeah.
the way or the vision of his teaching overseas,
Oh, I
which
love
I
that.
think is amazing. That's why I put it as the Ace of Wands.
Yeah, there's such expansive energy and potential with that ace, and it connects so beautifully with the Vermilion Bird, that sense of rebirth and regrowth and potential that all of the Firebirds bring, which is so amazing. I love that. This Ace of Pentacles, too, is so gorgeous. I love the turtle
Oh,
and the legend behind it about the turtle turning into an island to create
yes, yes.
an area of safety for, was it two drowning men?
Yeah, for two
Yeah,
drowning men, and
yeah,
the island became like a place whereby people who are sick can go
yeah.
there and get healing from there.
Oh, I love
So
it.
it's like a protective type of sense, and in the what do you call, in the Eastern astrology or in Eastern Taoist magic, they
Yeah,
also view that oh yeah, that okay. Why I chose this instead of the pentacle? is because in Eastern Taoist magic, this is also a symbol of protection. It is the Taoist mirror known as the 8-direction mirror. That's why there's the 8 trigrams as well as the yin yang in the center. So it's a protective mirror set, which is what actually a pentacle is. It's a symbol of protection, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why I changed it to this. And the temple in which the turtle is on is an actual real temple in Singapore.
Amazing. That's incredible.
So yes, so we also combine locations together
Yep.
with the story, so that if you are visiting the place, you can have a sense that oh, this card is actually for this place.
Oh, amazing.
And so
That's
we are not
amazing.
dealing with like the locations are real. Even this temple you can see in the background here. This temple is an actual real temple in Thailand.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
That is
So
cool.
we are dealing with very even for the Four of Cups.
Yeah.
This place in Laos is actually one of their most familiar temple in Laos. Yeah, it's their famous
Amazing.
Lao Jian place, which is
Wow.
legendary. Yeah, it's like so you are also like on a journey to discover places of interest. And
Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
the other day I was talking to this and also the world famous Angkor Wat. This is
Oh, okay,
Angkor
yeah.
Wat. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's Cambodia. Angkor
Yeah,
Wat. Yes.
that's incredible. You can take a journey through Southeast Asia by way of the tarot. I love it. There's so many elements to these cards. There's so many details that you've
That's
incorporated.
why
It's
I'm
beautiful.
also interweaving stories and legends as well as locations, actual locations whereby you can visit in Southeast Asia. Even okay. So one of these cards is the Three of Cups.
Oh,
So
the truth.
this is a real fountain, real waterfall in
Yeah,
Langkawi in Malaysia. So
yeah.
you don't see the Three of Cups here, but you can see 3 fairies. So
Yeah.
in a certain sense, the 3 fairies are symbolizing the Three of Cups. And then
Oh,
the
that's
story, you can see that there's 3 basins of water that also symbolizes the Three of Cups. But
yeah.
the interesting element here, which I put in, is that there is local animals. Like you can see this is the otter.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
this
so
is a local otter. Means both Southeast Asia, Singapore and Malaysia have this otter, and you know it's like quite famous recently.
yeah.
And then another animal which you seldom see is known as the mouse deer.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
amazing.
it's a legendary, very clever animal, known as the mouse deer. And then there's this Rafflesia, which is the largest so-called flower thing, but it smells like rotting flesh.
I've heard of
Yes,
that actually. Yeah, that's
yeah, but it's
it's
very
intense.
big.
It's
It's
beautiful, but
found
yeah.
by Stanford Raffles. But you can see that there's like a duality in the card. So
Yeah,
there's this rotting flesh flower, and you have
yeah.
the hibiscus. The hibiscus is a very big and very pungent, very nice smelling flower. But it is also the one of the major flower or the flower which represents Malaysia.
Oh, I didn't realize that. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
so there's the rotting flesh and the nice flower. So there's like a duality play in the entire card. So there are also animals which are what we call non native animals, like the koi fish, which
Okay, yeah.
symbolizes like to me koi fish is like symbolizes harmony and beauty. And also the swans, which is also like migratory and what we call non-native animals. They just maybe migrate here, spend like summer, and then go back or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's the whole entire card shows us a sense of calm and peacefulness, because like you have
Yeah.
animals which are native as well as animals which are foreign and living in harmony. So that's the sense of the Three of Cups which I want to give people, is saying that in a place of tranquility whereby animals can get together. So the Three of Cups is like people mixing around or having fun together without boundaries of locality or religion, stuff like that. That's also one of the sense which I want to put in this card, which is the Three
Yeah.
of Cups.
Oh, it's amazing. And I love that magical element of the fairies as well. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the only thing which is not real in the entire card. The rest of the elements of the card is based on we did what the artist did what we call photography, but with elements of touch up of making the photography a bit different from the normal. So you get a sense of differentiation.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with photography now to transition it into art, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I did for the. Let me see whether I put it here. Yeah, I have a lot of. One of the.
I was just going to say, I love hearing about all of the different details in the cards, because some things I picked up on, but others I hadn't. So I'm really enjoying hearing more about this, because it really brings the cards to life, knowing those little elements that you've included, the
The
details.
card which I did. This is the original art of.
Oh, yeah, the strength card, right?
Yeah, this is the original art of what I did.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I love this strength card so much. And the
Yes.
lion is the core of Singapore, right? The Singa, the lion. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, that's the reason why the founding of the Singapore is done. So basically, actually the story is about the king looking at the lion, but the reason why I did not draw the face of the king, because through many years, the people don't really know how the king look like, but they can always relate to how the lion look like. And
Absolutely.
that's the legend of the transformation and the solar energy which you can find in the strength card, which is here.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Yeah, well, and so much of tarot comes down to symbols as well. So I love that that's the focal point of this card, because it's such a beautiful representation of strength and the associations with Leo and the sun. And yeah, it's beautiful. I was so impressed when I saw that you had designed this one. And my strength is stick people, so I'm in awe of anyone who can draw anything that is
Oh,
stunning like this. It's really, really lovely.
thank you.
I was also, I found it really interesting, because most of the deck is based on myths and legends, but some are rooted in historical fact, like the Empress, or not the Empress, the High Priestess.
High Priestess.
Rather.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
I was so
this is
intrigued to hear the story behind this.
the card. This is we are also emphasize a lot of the deck has a very strong emphasis on women power. So Katini, this lady is known as Katini. She is a strong advocate for women equality as well as women education. So that's why she when actually I don't know about her story until the Indonesian artist told me, hey, I want to do Kartini. I said, who is Kartini? Then I need to do research on the Kartini story. So basically, the elements of this card, you can see that it has also the elements of the Rider White, whereby you can see the two pillars instead of the black and white pillars. We have the two umbrellas, which is typical of Indonesian culture, and then Kartini herself holding the a book of knowledge with the Sanskrit writing. It is if you can look at that writing, it's more it's a ancient. I won't say that ancient. It's like maybe 18th century type of style of the Jawi script, which is old Indonesian script. But her strength comes through to us by her courage to be different, which
Yeah.
for her time is very difficult
Yeah.
because firstly, the country is Muslim. Muslim don't have very strong equality rights for women, honestly. But the interesting part was also her association with the colonists, which is like the Dutch people, also gave her a different perspective of how to do education. So that's why when the artist said she wants to do Kartini, I think it's an excellent idea to do that.
Yeah. No, it was
Yeah,
really inspiring to read her story.
correct. So this is one of the inspiring stories which I write. Another legendary figure or historical figure is this card, Six of Swords.
Six of Swords.
Okay. So the Six of Swords, it's talking about actually three legendary historical figure. One is the Admiral Cheng Ho, who is comes from China. The other one is known as Hang Li Po, which is the princess, and the Sultan. This is the Sultan of Malacca. This is the grandfather of the Five of Swords Sultan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is this happened before the Five of Swords, but uh, because of the story, I need to put it as the Six of Swords. But
Yeah.
it's like that. So anyway, so this lady, because during that time, Ming Empire was very strong, so they had this princess come over with like 100 handmaidens to Malacca to get married to the Sultan, who is waiting for her. And during that time, there's this Admiral Cheng Ho bringing her to get married with the Sultan. Then through this intermarriage, we have a culture known as the Peranakan culture. It is unique to Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. So the Peranakan culture is an intermingling of Chinese and Malay.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So they also have so the other card which also shows Master Cheng Ho is this Ten of Pentacles. So this is the young man Cheng Ho.
Oh, okay.
Young man
I
Cheng
love that
Ho.
you're depicting him at different stages of his life. That's really cool.
So this is the old man Cheng Ho. So basically we can see that in this sense, this case, Master Cheng Ho is like the mediator, which is I would say very good to be the Six of Swords, right? But in the Ten of Pentacles, he is already older, or he has already gotten a higher ranking. That's why he wore a different type of costume. Yeah. So it's like his rank also bigger, and he also has a beard to state that he has already grown older and wiser. And then this temple in Indonesia, because this card is from Indonesia, is very special because it is not exactly 100% a temple. It is a temple stroke mosque.
Oh, amazing.
Because Cheng Ho himself is a Muslim.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of people will think, oh, you're Chinese, so most of the time you're either Taoist or Buddhist, but actually those north I would say northeastern or northwestern Chinese, most of them are Muslim in religion. So he is a Muslim. So he the temple which is dedicated to him, one of his what do you call, sailors or captains, instead of going back to China, he stayed in Indonesia and became very rich. But he always remembered about his admiral, who is the Cheng Ho, and he made this temple stroke mosque in Indonesia to remember him and also to commemorate him. So yeah, Cheng Ho's influence you can see in several parts of Southeast Asia, as well as all the way to Africa as well, because his trade route was very vast. So some of the cards also shows like the coming of age of various people or characters.
Oh, that's incredible. It's really amazing to be able to see them at different points in their life and see how they've evolved and taken on positions of leadership and knowledge and wisdom as compared to when they were younger and maybe had a different role, like that of mediator, right? It's fascinating.
Yes, correct.
I love it.
Right.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, so one of my personal favorite cards is actually the Lovers.
Oh, that was another one that I was going to mention earlier. I absolutely love the artwork on that card.
Okay, so this is the Lovers, but
it's gorgeous.
I also have the big version.
Yeah, I love the play of water and fire and that contrast down the middle of the card. It's so stunning.
Yeah, so this is the artwork.
Oh, wow. That's
see.
beautiful.
But I couldn't put in the sister very well into the card, but this is the actual sister in full.
Yeah. She's still there though. You can still see her quite well in the card, which is lovely.
Yeah, but
there's a flying figure in the back as well.
That's like a pixie character, which actually is not in the story, but I thought to put it there to symbolize the angel in the Rider White story. And I like the way the artist did the parting of the cards, whereby the fisherman is on the land side or the ship side, and the mermaids are on the water side. So yeah, this is actually a very ritualistic magic which they, or a dance or legend which they do during dawn in a certain part of Malaysia. And the dancers will dance, and you will feel a certain form of calling from the sea as well, if you are part of that ritual. So it's a very interesting thing. It's also to understand the core meaning of the card is to understand where you belong. Yeah, the choice. It's like in the Little Mermaid story, whereby the mermaid is trying to decide whether she's belonging to the land or belonging to the sea. But in this sense, it's the fisherman who is deciding whether he's supposed to be with the mermaid or to go back to the land. So I like that card. This is one of the first card which I designed, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. This is one of the first ones that really stood out to me when I was going through the deck. I think I've always been drawn to the ocean and the themes of mermaids and water, and that energy really resonates with me on a really deep level. So I think that was part of the draw for me. And just the artwork is so stunning. And I love the juxtaposition. And then I went and read
the other one which has a mermaid form person is the Knight of Knight of what do you call it? Knight of Cups. Basically, this is a Naga, which is a Naga prince. He later becomes a king and protected the god Krishna or the Buddha through the storm. So he became like a protector against the storm and the violence which came to the Buddha. So that's why you can see a prayer hand down here, which talks about the enlightenment of him not being so violent, because Previously, the Naga type of idea was life of violence. So, Buddhism is supposed to be not violence. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's the one who draw this is the same artist who the one who did the lovers.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, there's definitely elements through both of them that are very similar. Oh, it's lovely. I
Mm.
love that for the Knight of Cups too, that idea of protection and leading from the heart and choosing nonviolence. I think that's such a great theme for that particular
Yeah,
night.
I think throughout the whole deck, I try to project a sense of non-violence
Hmm.
or non fighting type of thing. That's why yeah. So of course we need to talk about the Linard's work for this deck because
Hmm.
he's the director. So he did two cards, which
Okay.
is both super amazing. Uh,
Yeah. Is that the World
the
Cup? No.
Yeah, the World Cup.
Okay.
World Cup, which is centered mostly on Southeast Asia, but it
Yeah.
also consists of the four animals,
Yeah.
and it the world is actually on top of four elephants on top
Yeah.
of the turtle. Okay,
Oh,
that part we took it from uh Terry Pratchett,
okay. Yeah. It's very precious. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's
the
amazing. I love it.
this world thing, which is the four elephants on top of a
Yeah.
turtle. Yeah, so that's the
Amazing.
Terry Pratchett part of the story. Yeah, but
That's amazing. I love it.
basically, I also quite like Terry Pratchett. That okay. So for the World Cup, it is not 100% Southeast Asian myth,
Yeah.
but it's also about giving some sense to certain art writers. I think which we
Mhm.
quite like,
Yeah.
and both
Absolutely.
myself and Lynn quite like the idea of Terry Pratchett or
Yeah.
how we see
Absolutely.
this world and our world at this moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. What was the second card that he
The
created?
star.
Oh, amazing. I love the legend behind the star. It was such a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's about the maidens or star fairy maidens which come down to give thanks to this
Mhm.
Southeast Asia. Yeah.
Mhm.
So these are the two. Give me a minute. I'll be back. I need to get something. Hold on.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Um, While Rowan's gone, I just wanted to talk about the Fool card. Um, this is centered around rice, actually, and it was really awesome to look at the different ways in which rice plays a role in Southeast Asian culture. Um, has and often in many cases as a breakfast food. I think it was rice noodles are eaten in Vietnam, was it? And then rice plays a
Yes.
role
Yes.
in
So
a central
so
focus in food,
okay.
which is
So
eating.
I had um a lot of idea why we want to use this card. What I actually didn't really have a good idea what I want for the full card. So
Mhm.
until I decided that let's talk about rice
Yeah.
because yeah, it's a staple for Southeast Asia,
Hmm.
and it starts with the grain of rice which is here.
Yeah.
It is protected by the four elements which is
Hmm.
present. You can see the fire,
Yeah.
air, water fairies, as well as
Hmm.
the this is the guardian spirit of the rice,
Hmm.
and the green field, which is the earth element basically.
Yeah.
And why we have a dog because we're using rider white. Uh,
Yeah.
well, I needed to have some sense that
Yeah.
rider white was there, but
Yeah.
where is the fool? The fool is actually this rice seed which is about to
Yeah.
grow up. So
It's that
that's the
pure potential next
yeah.
stage of the journey. Yeah, that's amazing.
I think the other interesting card is this card.
I was just going to ask you about that actually, because I was so fascinated to see it. and it's focused on a vampire squirrel that attacks and disembowels deer, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
mean,
So
it looks so cute
basically,
here, but it's quite violent.
that's why this okay. Firstly, this puppet over here, it is
Yeah.
what they call a shadow puppet,
Okay.
and the puppet which is here, it represents the devil.
Yeah.
So it is actually a very violent little animal with a tail
Yes.
which is longer than himself, which
Yeah.
can. That's why you can see the deer here, which is sort of dead because he has already disemboweled his heart, and yeah. That's why don't one of the idea why I chose this animal, because
Mhm.
it is an actual animal, but the legend behind it killing the deer is like just so profoundly
Mhm.
amazing, which we don't understand, because sometimes the hunters will just find deers without their hearts, and they say it's always done by this squirrel.
The
And
little
yeah,
squirrel.
but it's a very again, this happy squirrel card actually comes from Simpsons, right? Which
Mhm.
talks about unknown, about the legend between the. Some people talk about the squirrel of the world tree, which brings
Mhm.
the quarrels between the eagle
Yeah.
on top and the
The
and
chatty
the.
squirrel. I can't remember his name now off the top of my head, or their name off the top of my head, but I've read a lot of mythology with my kids, with Greek, Roman, Egyptian, and also
That's
Norse.
this Nordic, yeah,
Yeah, the
Norse.
Nordic squirrel.
So anyway, I
Rabbit.
quite like the way they portray, and he gives the artist gave him like a death mask, which
Yeah.
is on
Nice.
the scribble,
He's got the
makes
two
him
little fangs for the
yeah,
vampire
like
squirrel
vampire.
aspect. I
So
love that.
I really like his art, but
Yeah.
the same artist also did another one of my favorite cards, which is quite stylo looking, the Two of Swords. They are
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
artist.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Oh, this is such a beautiful card. Like, their
Mm,
artwork is just stunning. I love the use of color,
yes.
and it's just, wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah. This artist, the one who anyway, the Two of Swords in this sense talk about the legend of the beginning myth or creation myth of
Mhm.
Philippines. So it
Yeah.
talks of three beings. So this is the one is the perfect good being, and then one is the 10-headed monster being from hell, and then there's this guy who is the third being, which is the, I would say, mediator. That's why he's the Two of Swords, the
Yeah.
mediator between good and evil.
Yeah.
And through his mediation, the earth was created.
Yeah.
So that's the short version of the story.
Oh,
And
I love that.
long version is actually quite a bit to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I love too, I was just looking at the legend behind the Two of Wands this morning too, and it made me think about Egyptian mythology and the weighing of Ma'at and the feather and determining whether
Oh,
you have good
okay.
life or bad life. And that
Mm.
came through in this legend for me as well. It's
Oh, yeah.
fascinating to me looking at different types of mythology and the through line that comes from different cultures around certain themes of death
Mm.
and mortality and good and evil and how you engage with that over the course of your life, right? It was fascinating to see that come out
Yeah.
in this Two of Wands card.
Yeah. So this Two of Wands card shows the Yaman. This is
Hmm.
but this Yaman's style is that of the, what do you call, Myanmar type of Yaman, because
Hmm.
in Chinese there's also the Chinese Yaman, and then
Hmm.
there's also the Hindu Yaman. So this is the blue face god of death type of
Hmm.
judge. But sometimes people think the god of death is supposed to be kind looking or like human looking, but in this sense is not really that human looking. And
Yeah.
you can see that the wording here is actually Myanmar language, which is Burmese,
Okay. Yep.
And it states heaven and hell. So it's doing the judgment of this guy whether he's supposed to go to hell or go to heaven.
Yeah.
So like what you said, it's this myth and all the legend which is behind that is like similar the heaven and hell idea for everybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating.
And
It makes so much
and
sense with the two ones.
again the Yaman is also doing this sign
Yeah.
because he's protesting against the government, the military government.
Oh, I love that.
That's what I say. So basically, I want to show the additional cards which
I wanted to ask you about that because I noticed in the guidebook that there was a number of kind of alternate cards that you had. There was the magician, which I think
this
you
is
had
the
designed.
cosplay cards between
Oh
the
my gosh, amazing.
Knight of Wands
Yeah,
and the Knight of Wands. This is the
yeah.
actual art, and this is the final art with the cosplay. So
Oh,
it looks
amazing.
not bad.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
We have the Knight of Swords,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
the Kinari Princess.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed
So
that yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah. So anyway, these two cards are linked because the story of the Kinari Princess and the Were Tiger is linked
Oh,
together.
okay. Yeah.
That's why
because can
I
see that
chose
element.
her as one of the characters to cosplay.
Yeah.
And, actually, for Chinese New Year, we made a promo card, which is this card.
Oh my gosh. That's beautiful.
This card is promo card. It is not part of any deck. It is, it's promo.
Oh, it's so cool though. I love that. Yeah, and there's two editions of the deck too. There's the matte edition, which I have, and then there's also the holographic edition, which is a special edition that you released as well, right? Oh my gosh,
Yes.
it's
So
so
this is the
beautiful.
holographic. So in the holographic, I will attach all the additional cards
Oh,
as part of
cool.
it. And
Yeah,
this is me also. This is me.
yeah, that's incredible. Is that the magician
But
card?
but this
Yeah,
is not part of any deck. This is personal card.
that
Lynn
would
did
be
this for
specific
me.
for you. Yeah, that's incredible. So
So
the magic card that you created as an alternate card, what does that one like? I know the image was in the guidebook, but I'd love to see it if you have it in person. Because you designed that one, right?
this one.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
This card. Wait, this card is unique because basically this card talks of the Taoist priests of. Actually, I had a few versions. I had this version, so the red color version. I had that version, but when I designed this card, this particular card, I was thinking about certain ideas to make it okay. So this is the actual full art of the card.
Oh, beautiful.
So just a big background about this card is this is a person who looks like this one of the famous Hong Kong artists which died. So but in order for him not or the family not to say anything, I designed it into this form for the deck. So it's like will not resemble the artist, but basically in the tradition of Taoism, we have the Taoist Talismans, which is drawn in this manner. So just background on this Taoist writing over behind. This is authentic Taoist talisman writing, which is passed down from my my grandfather until now. So it is a Gamora which shows how to draw spells, real Taoist spells. So this is like traditional. Then because in Southeast Asia there's a lot of this Taoist priests. So we had all the Taoist magician items, which is the four magical items. One is a cauldron, one is the mirror, which is the same as the Ace of
Oh,
Pentacles.
amazing.
Yeah, and then one is a flute, and one is the Taoist sword. So, and this is his symbol of authority. So a lot of time they will use flags to do a lot of power and authority. This get up of the Taoist priest is considered more senior Taoist monk to Taoist priest to wear. Normal Taoist priests don't wear this get up. This is more senior.
Yeah, it looks extra fancy. It looks very elevated.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this get up actually, one of my good friend is actually a very senior Taoist priest in Singapore.
Wow.
So I got a picture of his costume. Then I said to the artist, why don't you do it in this manner? So he did, and then I wanted the face of the Hong Kong actor because I respect him as a very powerful Taoist magician. So I decided to immortalize him in tarot. And then I decided to use my own Gamora spell book stuff to put it here. So it is a combination of a lot of things inside this card.
Oh, that's incredible.
Magical, but it is not available in the original deck. It's an alternate booster deck, which comes in this format.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll post a picture later on like you know, Andy Warhol style, whereby there's like 4 different prints of the same. I'll post that later.
That would be really, really cool. It's so fascinating to see the different renditions of the same image.
Yes.
Yeah, and to compare. So these alternate cards, do they come with a holographic deck then?
Yes, it comes with a holographic deck, and it comes with this too. The
oh, amazing!
I think this is amazing. This is the and
they're
then
gorgeous.
It comes with the this one, which is the alternate of the manga version of the Eight of Wands.
Yeah.
So the Eight of Wands actually is about this bird, which is Garuda, but he the person the alternate artist also decided to do a manga style, which you can also see the energy in a different view. But it is the energy of the Garuda.
Yeah, both of them really encapsulate the traditional Eight of Wands energy, but the alternate card, so many of the decks that I have show the arrows being fired. You see the 8 arrows kind of crossing the card. So it really encapsulates that RWS kind of imagery.
So let's get 2 alternate cards. One is an alternate Knight of Pentacle, and one is the Moon card.
Oh, that Moon card is beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Both of them are actually stunning.
I think Lin is a very good artist. Then the other cards are these.
Oh, beautiful. That's
And
gorgeous.
One. Yeah. So basically the holographic cards really look very
they're stunning.
Not all looks nice lah, but one of the idea is to capture a rainbow in the card.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I love the holographic. Like it just picks up so many different elements of the design and pulls it into focus. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So the page of this page of
wow.
Actually this card is special because this card is all paper cutting.
Wow,
the
that's
creation
incredible.
of this card is done all by paper cutting.
Wow.
The entire art is paper cutting. So, but it's it's unique.
Absolutely.
I did post on how the artist did this because she is famous for doing paper cutting in Philippines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I can see why. That's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, "You sure this is paper cutting?" I said, "Yeah, this is paper cutting." I got the proof and the video of how she did this.
Oh, that's incredible.
very
Yeah, the
amazing.
process of how the art comes together is so fascinating to see. Um, oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, the
Because there's a
holographic niche is
lot of
really special.
different media
Mhm.
involved, as well as yeah. So one of the art style which I also chose, which I like. I don't know whether people like this, but I like this card.
Mhm.
It
Oh,
is
it's
not the
gorgeous.
traditional sense of the Nine of Swords.
Yeah, but that's incredible. Let me pull that out.
Mm. So the art style I chose was Conan the Barbarian art style.
Yes, absolutely. That definitely pulls that
Give
up.
you a sense of the Conan Barbarian art style. But
Yes.
the story is about this lady, which is a beautiful
Mhm.
girl. She had a prophecy saying that she's going to marry
Oh, okay.
a beast, which is this guy.
Hmm.
But during that time, she ran away and became a dancing girl until her dancing troupe was attacked by the a guy who looks like a beast, but he's actually not a beast. So anyway, for dramatic effect, we made him into a beast. So he's
Yeah.
like a lion, a hairy lion
Yeah.
guy. But it, in a certain sense, when we were talking about the story, the
Mhm.
lion guy also felt that he was not the beast. He
Yeah.
was like a normal guy, and he wanted to marry this they fell in love. So but in the end of the story, she actually married the beast and had children. So the story is a bit complicated, and
Mhm.
we gave more dramatic effect with the eclipse over here, and a lot of skeleton bones all in the background
Yeah.
and stuff. So this is yeah, this is one of my card which I
Beautiful.
think designed very well.
Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous. Um, I also wanted to ask you too, well, just mention actually, in the guidebook, you have a number of really amazing spreads. And one that really stood out to me was the SEAMS tarot spread, because you have 11 cards in a circle, and each card represents one of the countries that contributed to the deck and different aspects of that country that come into play through the realm of tarot. So I wanted to ask you about how you created that spread and what that process was like, because it's really amazing.
Oh, when because in when you do a spread,
Hmm.
it's like you are designing a application form.
Hmm.
So you want to know what you want to extract, or what information you want to extract, and which
Hmm.
position to put
Hmm.
it to make it make sense. So
Yeah.
in the sense of how I was designing the spread, I had firstly the idea of 11 countries,
Hmm.
so it will become an 11 card spread. So that was the initial idea. Then later on, I would start with uh, the countries which were most prominent, till
Hmm.
the country which was more of the outer circle of the spread. Because if you look at the map of Southeast Asia,
Hmm.
is this a map of Southeast Asia. So I start with Brunei.
At the bottom here too.
Yeah, yeah. So I start with Brunei. Actually,
Yeah.
the spread itself, it's not supposed to look like the circle thing. The
Mhm.
circle thing was because I was talking to Lina when he was doing the layout of the spread. Is it
Mhm.
the way I lay the spread as the Southeast Asia thing and the circle spread thing, said it's too much work for him to do the spread according to
Yeah.
what I wanted. So he said, okay, let's do the circle. Okay lah.
Yeah.
Because we were rushing for time to finish the book and
Mhm.
to give the things to the Kickstarter backers, because it was delayed for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Partly because I was busy, partly because Lina was busy, and also because of the holidays and
Yeah.
stuff. And I had COVID and Lina had COVID, so
Uh,
yeah, that sort of thing which caused the part of the delay. So
yeah.
in any case, the we started from Brunei, which is the head of the Southeast Asian country or ASEAN. Then we moved to the countries which is surrounding Brunei, like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. So normally my idea of the aspect of the country would relate to how the country is doing at this particular point in time. That's why if you look at how I describe Myanmar, which is in the state of transformation and transition, is about like the obstacles which people are facing at this moment in time, which is what is facing by that country. So it is like if you were to tell me to design a spread on Europe or on what is going on, then Ukraine will be the country which is now going through a lot of hardships and transformation.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So those were the aspects in which I took into consideration when I was designing a spread. So when I was designing spreads, in designing spreads or in answering questions, I think the important thing in the spread design, it depends on the purpose. So and then the form. So the form which I took was the map of Southeast Asia. The purpose I took was a general power of the general feel of what is going on in a person's life. So it can deal with a lot of like different aspects of a person's life, like the encapsulating of that of Southeast Asia. That's how I designed the spread to help people to understand Southeast Asia, and also on the geopolitical situations of each different countries in analysis. Those were the considerations. That's hopefully by the design of the spread and the understanding of the countries, people can understand what is going on in this region of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you included a bunch of different spreads in here actually, which was really cool. Like there was a simple reading method too, which was really intriguing to me.
Oh, that simple reading method is actually a technique. It's not it's a technique which I learned from several people. One of them was Marcus Katz. I don't know whether you know Marcus Katz. So basically, Marcus Katz taught how to do tarot by reducing various cards into one keyword.
Oh, I love that.
The design, the understanding of this, if you're able to have like 8 cards, up to 8 cards, and you can reduce into one keyword, then you can do a 78 card spread very fluently. There's his design. He developed a spread known as the try spread, which is a 78 card tarot spread, which I did before. So anyway, I know the practice. I did. That's why I do only until 4 cards to reduce it into one keyword. And it's like basically you can, if you are very good, when you do tarot until a certain level, you will be able to see maybe a 10 card spread, a Celtic cross, which is the card which can symbolize or sum up the entire spread, right? So that gives a practice, like you can get a general gist of what is going on in the spread. And there are a lot of techniques in doing tarot which can be very different level or understanding. So by doing that like pyramid style 10 cards spread, you can see that 1 card reduced to 1 word, 2 cards reduced to 1 word, and 3 cards reduced to 1 word, and 4 cards reduced to 1 word. You get 4 words which can summarize that spread. It's just like you do Lenormand, and then you have, you know, the Grand Tableau. Then you have the 4 cards below of the Grand Tableau, which is supposed to sum up the Grand Tableau, what's going on, right? So that's a certain way of how you can use tarot to summarize things. And I think it's a technique which I view people can pick up easily and use it for like day-to-day use and stuff like that. And even for beginners, I think it's a good practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think being able to consolidate the meaning down to a single word helps you connect with that card in a way that's very simple but very focused, which is extracting the meaning really, really helpful.
A lot of cases in the Thoth Tarot, because basically Thoth already they put in a keyword in the deck or in the card, in which when you see, like, let's say Five of Wands, you get the word strife, right? So in this sense, so you can like get the Five of Wands and you can see the strife or the contradictory of views in this card. So that's the Five of Wands which was going on for that of the tarot. So that's how it's also very easy to understand the meanings. My son is back. Oh, say hello.
Hi.
Yeah, he just dropped his front teeth. Say hello. My daughter. So in that aspect, you can understand or learn the tarot faster. I did try to do. I have a book which is known as Tarot in an Hour. So that is one of the key ways of teaching tarot in an hour by using keywords.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah, when I was kind of doing my deep dive into tarot, I found keyword associations to be really helpful in terms of kind of creating a more intimate relationship with each of the cards. I had that keyword association. It helped me reference as I was learning how everything works together and the different meanings.
Okay. They just came back from excursion, so they are a bit tired.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
So
in a certain sense, you can like let's just take two cards of the SEAMS Tarot. There's two cards.
Nice.
And Eight of Cups. These two can also be summarized into one word. To me, these two can be the seeker, because you're seeking something, right? So this is like simple associations.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I love the imagery on those cards. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice when you can. I love pulling cards together to look at a more holistic meaning. Like, it's great to have the meaning for one card, but more cards helps to expand your understanding of yourself and the situation, and it's really, really helpful. That's really cool.
Yeah, and another idea about the Major Arcana card, or how I can associate a Major Arcana card or any other card, is what comes before and what comes after.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's how. So like the Fool and the Magician, right? If you draw the Magician card, what comes before the Magician and what comes after the Magician?
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to look at the Major Arcana as a fool's journey, and every step along the way is a different progression and a different level of understanding. Being able to look at what comes before and after gives you a more holistic impression of what that card might mean or symbolize for you. So that's really, really cool. I like that approach.
Yeah, or if you get a reverse card, right, it could mean the what came before or what came. I think what came before would be the better idea.
Yeah, absolutely. What's contributing to the current situation or conflict that you're experiencing?
Yes. Oh, your daughter has woken up, is it?
What's that?
Your child has woken up?
Yes.
Hello.
This is my son. He's 9.
Yes. So can yeah, one more idea which the SEAMS Tarot is also about education. So I took this particular card out because my daughter was asked to do a presentation about Singapore history. So this Two of Pentacles is talking about Singapore history, about legend of strongman of Singapore and how
Oh,
he
amazing.
lifted the Singapore stone in front of the Istana. So the building behind is an actual building in Singapore. Now it's known as the Malay Cultural Center, but
Yeah.
in ancient past, the building was known as the palace for the king.
Oh,
So
amazing.
in a certain sense, I gave her the script to tell in the school about this story and to show
Oh,
this
so
card.
cool. That's so
So,
awesome. Yeah, I love that you have incorporated so many temples and mosques and places of significance that are in the different countries that are being represented in the tarot. There's like this physical context for so many of the cards, which is really, really cool. I love that. And I love that your daughter was able to incorporate that in her assignment. That's really, really cool.
yeah, that help. That's also like education. That's why
Yeah,
tarot can also be
absolutely.
used for education, which
Yeah,
I think is very
absolutely.
good
Yeah.
because it just breaks the door down a lot of the old concepts of how you can use tarot. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I love looking at tarot in a holistic sense. It's not,
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like there's a lot of
show you
stereotypes around
this.
it or preconceptions. Ooh, oh my goodness, look at that. That's gorgeous.
So this is
Wow.
this came after the tarot project was done. So
Yeah,
basically, the artist which did this did the Malayan for the tarot deck.
yeah. Oh, beautiful. That's
So
gorgeous.
it's also present in the mandala. Yeah, so it's
Oh,
this.
beautiful.
You see the
Oh yeah,
Malayan.
look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Yes. So
Amazing.
the deck, I spent a lot of effort to do research, actual site visit.
Yeah.
But one thing about the entire project is I never physically met any of the overseas artists.
Oh, wow. It's incredible with the advent of modern technology that we can have conversations like this where you're in Singapore, I'm in Nova Scotia, and yet we can connect and we can chat and we can have these discussions. And meeting people physically in person isn't as important as it used to be. It's possible to forge those connections and engage with people in really meaningful and significant ways and create an amazing collaborative deck from a distance,
Correct.
right? That
Yes,
that
yes,
always, I think that's incredible, and I think it's so amazing that that is possible now, right? It's
yes,
really,
yes.
really
But
incredible.
one thing is also about trust.
Yes,
Trust.
absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
because when we started the deck or when we started this project, I didn't really know very well a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I needed
Yeah.
to convince them that I'm a genuine guy. I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
and it will
Yeah.
not be a wasted effort and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they needed to trust me with their art and to present it
Mhm.
in a correct manner to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
yeah, and I am very honored to work with all the brilliant artists as well as I was very honored to work with Leonard on this deck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's incredible. And it's so amazing to be able to make those connections and forge that trust. Because when you're putting your art out in the world, when you're putting your stories out in the world, when you're putting a piece of yourself out in the world, it's a very intimate process. And so there needs to be that trust in place to be able to engage with others in meaningful and significant ways. That's amazing. So I wanted to ask for anyone looking to purchase a copy of the deck, where would they go to? Would they
Oh yeah,
contact you?
I have a Etsy store,
Oh, okay,
which
fantastic.
I will post in your comments, and
Yeah,
you can buy it
absolutely.
from that store.
Perfect.
It's now a bit more expensive. I put it
Mhm.
because the Kickstarter was about $70 Singapore
Yeah,
dollars. Now
yeah,
it's priced as 100 Singapore dollars for the normal deck.
yeah.
The holographic deck, yeah, I only printed 50 of the holographic deck.
Oh, wow.
So I still have some deck left. So if people want to buy, it's for $250. But it's really very gorgeous deck.
Yeah,
And
it is.
yeah, and like what I told you, the normal edition deck is waterproof. Yeah, I
Yes.
showed the
Oh my gosh, I saw that experiment. That was incredible. Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah, cause
It's nice to have
one
that
of,
level of durability.
yeah, correct. So one of the senses, the deck, although the card looks like very thin and
Hmm.
it's very user friendly or good for shuffling to open up the
Yeah,
cards and stuff like and it's yeah, waterproof.
yeah, that's
That's
amazing.
the
Oh, that's
impressive part of
incredible.
the deck. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, I'm unfortunately going to have to go, but thank you so much for joining me. It has been an
Oh,
absolute
thank
pleasure
you.
chatting
Thank
with
you for
you
the
about this deck and
time
all the,
to discuss
oh,
this.
it's
Yeah.
incredible. It's deepened my, I already had a huge appreciation for the deck, but being able to talk to you about the myths and legends and the real people and real locations that show up in the deck has made it all the more special. And I'm so
Thank you.
excited to dive deeper into this. And you know, like I said, I've read through all of the myths and legends, but it's kind of fascinating when you pull a couple of cards and then you can look at the myths that underpin them and then juxtapose that against tarot and see how that relates to your own experience. It's a really magical process. So thank you so much for chatting with me
Thank
and
you. Thank you for
deepening
your
my
time as
understanding
well.
of it. And oh my gosh, of course, yeah. And for anyone who wasn't able to join us for all of it, I'll be posting this to my Instagram stories and also my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to come and walk with us through so many elements of this amazing deck. It's been
Thank
an
you. Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity and the support. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's a truly magical creation, and seeing all the different elements and all the care that went into crafting it is really amazing. I feel so privileged to be able to speak with you about it and really appreciate
Oh,
you taking
it's
the
also
time.
my pleasure to share it because there's just a lot of process and a lot of understanding and
Mhm.
also real research.
Yes,
A lot of the
absolutely.
tales is not one thing about this deck is
Yeah,
the tales are real,
yes,
the places are real, and
yeah,
the stories have all real research. So
yeah.
one thing I also found out about this about the backers of this deck, it about 1/3 of all the backers are either teachers or
Oh,
educators or historical people who are interested in culture or history.
oh my gosh, that's
So
amazing.
that is quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I homeschool my kids, and I look forward to chatting with them about this deck and the legends that go underneath it. And it's really fascinating, and it's really nice to be able to incorporate those elements in my teaching. So I look forward to engaging with that. Yeah.
Thank you, Jules. Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Have a good day ahead.
Yeah, you as well.
Okay, bye.